Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings for Tuesday, May 15th. We have a 14-game slate tonight, so we got a lot of pitchers to look at and a lot of hitters to talk about, some stacks to talk about. So I do not want to waste any time. Just make sure you guys drop a like on the video, like always. I really appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel and you have not clicked that subscribe button yet, be sure you do subscribe down below so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. But looking at pitcher for today, looking at our pitchers that are 10K and above on DraftKings, we have 4 options over 10K: Garrett Cole, Zach Greinke, Noah Syndergaard, and Alex Wood. Then once you get under Wood, got a couple 9K pitchers, a couple 8K pitchers, and some 7K pitchers as well. So there's mid-tier options we can go to that we can pair with these studs. But just looking at the studs first, starting off with Garrett Cole, he gets a matchup with the Angels today in LA. Good pitcher's park. Definitely not the best strikeout matchup, though. The Angels are not a team that strikes out a ton. Garrett Cole is very expensive at $13,900. I believe he has faced this Angels team once this year. When I get the game log pulled up, yeah, he did face the Angels on April 23rd. Put up 24 DraftKings points, which really isn't that great for if you're paying for Garrett Cole. 7 innings, 8 Ks, gave up 2 runs. I think that's the only time he's faced Angels this year. Obviously, Garrett Cole's been insane this year. He's been so dominant, but at $13,900 in a matchup that really isn't great, I think we can get away from Garrett Cole today, especially with this price. We do have other options on this slate. You could go to Greinke against the Brewers if you wanted to do that, but the guy that I really like getting away from Garrett Cole, you're getting $3,000 in savings. I like Noah Syndergaard here at $10,800 versus the Blue Jays. I think this is a good matchup for Syndergaard. He's pitching at home in the Met Stadium, which is a good pitcher's park. Toronto's going to have to travel to the National League, so they're going to lose their DH, and they're going to have to add a pitcher to the lineup, which is pretty much a free strikeout. I just really like Syndergaard here, getting some good respect from Vegas. The Blue Jays only have a 3.2 implied run total on this slate. Looks like there is going to be some heavy rain. I haven't really dug much into the weather looking at this slate the night before. Maybe if this game has a chance of being delayed mid-game, or if it has a chance of being postponed, we might want to pivot away from Syndergaard, but for now, without digging too deep into weather, I like Syndergaard here. I just think he has a lot of upside. Could definitely outscore Garrett Cole, and you're getting some really good savings. And I think you want to pay it for bats today. You're going to need that money to pay it for bats because there are some expensive hitters I like on this slate. So I'm taking the savings off of Garrett Cole, who I think is going to be somewhat popular today, and rolling with Noah Syndergaard, $10,800. Then the other pitcher was Alex Wood. I don't really like him here versus the Marlins. I just don't feel like Alex Wood's a 10K pitcher. I'm not sure how much upside he has. I think Syndergaard definitely has way more upside than Alex Wood. And then Greinke at 11.8, I think I'd rather just play Syndergaard. So that's it for the stud pitchers. Now if we want to look for SP2s that we can pair with our studs, if you want to go to Eduardo Rodriguez at 9,200, you could do that, but that's definitely going to cut you thin in salary. If you do Erod and Syndergaard, that only leaves you $3,750 remaining per player, which you could work around. I do like Erod here versus the Athletics, but there's a cheap 7K option I like. I was on him in his last start versus this same team. Didn't really work out, but I think we can go back to the well here. I do like Trevor Williams at home versus the White Sox. Kind of the same scenario here. American League team, that's going to have to travel to the National League. Going to lose their DH. Good pitcher's park here in Pittsburgh. Their ballpark does favor pitchers. Like I said, the White Sox are going to travel to the National League, so they're going to lose their DH. Going to have to put a pitcher in the lineup, which is pretty much a free strikeout. I do like Trevor Williams here. He's getting some good respect from Vegas. The White Sox only have a 3.6 implied run total. If Yohan Moncada is still out, I think that's a good upgrade for Williams. Moncada has been out lately. He's in the projected lineup for tomorrow, but he is listed as questionable. Not sure if he'll be in there, but if he's out again, good upgrade for Trevor Williams. There are strikeouts in this lineup to where he could definitely have a good game. So I like Trevor Williams here. Even though he struggled last time he faced the White Sox, I think we see him get back to 15, 20 DraftKings points. Can easily project that from him on it. 7,200. That's getting the job done, especially if Syndergaard has a decent game as well. If you do go Williams and Syndergaard, that still leaves you 4K remaining for your bats, which I think can easily be worked around. Still gives you salary to pay up for some expensive hitters if you want to do that. So these are kind of the two pitchers I like to build around, Syndergaard and Williams. If you want to look at some of the other SP2s, I think Jose Barrios could definitely be a tournament play. I'm not going there in cash because Barrios just hasn't been good lately, but still a guy that has a ton of upside, has great strikeout stuff. At 7,600, that's really a cheap price tag for Jose Barrios for a guy with that kind of talent. Looking like 7K and above, or 7K and below. A guy like Nick Pivetta can maybe be used in tournaments. Risky spot versus the Orioles, but Pivetta definitely has good strikeout stuff, and he's only 7,200. You can maybe use him in a GPP if you want to go there as sort of a low-owned play. For some reason, the Rangers aren't getting any respect from Vegas versus Mike Leake. The Rangers, they only have a 3.9 implied run total for today. Mike Leake, 5,800. I don't think I really want to go there because I don't think Mike Leake is that great of a pitcher. But like I said, the Rangers not getting a ton of respect from Vegas here. They have a low total. It's a pitcher's park in Seattle. If you wanted to play Mike Leake, you could do that. But again, that's a guy that I don't really play. I feel like it's kind of risky versus the Rangers. We do know the Rangers, though, they will strike out a lot, but Leake really not a strikeout pitcher to begin with. So that's kind of it for SP2s for me. Starting off with, like, if I'm paying up, it's definitely Syndergaard. If you're looking to get away from Garrett Cole, I don't mind Cole here, but I don't feel like this is the greatest matchup for him. With him being that expensive, I think Syndergaard, good pivot away from him. He's kind of the guy I want to pay up for. Then SP2s, I think Erod, if you want to go Syndergaard, Erod, you could do that if you can find value hitters. Like Trevor Williams, that 7K range. I think Barrios in tournaments could be an option. I think Pivetta in tournaments could be an option. If you're really just looking to punt, Mike Leake, I guess, at home versus the Rangers, 5,800, but not really a guy I'm thrilled about. So that's kind of it for pitcher for today. Now if I want to look at my hitters, 3 hitters that I like that I can build around with these 2 pitchers. With going Syndergaard Williams, like I said, leaves you 4K remaining, so definitely have some salary if we do want to pay up for some expensive bats. The first guy that I do like is at first base. He's not really that expensive, just 4K. I like Hanley Ramirez here versus Daniel Megden. I like the Red Sox as a potential stack. They do have one of the highest implied run totals on this slate. Projected to go for 5.5 runs versus Megden. I think the Red Sox are in a good spot here. They've got some pretty cheap hitters in their lineup. If we look at Benintendi, Ramirez, Bogarts, Devers, these guys aren't very expensive. Benintendi is 4.4, excuse me. Ramirez is 4K, Bogarts 4.3, Rafael Devers 3,900. You've got some value in this lineup, even if you look away from Mookie and JD. I think Hanley Ramirez kind of been hitting the ball well lately. Double-digit DraftKings points in 3 of his last 4 games. Good spot versus Daniel Megden, a pitcher that I don't think is very good. I like Hanley Ramirez here, and I like the Red Sox today as a stack. Definitely one of my favorite stacks on this slate. Then my next play, going to third base. Another team I want to get a lot of exposure to today is the Indians, and I think Jose Ramirez, great option to pay up for on this slate. If you're looking for a hitter to pay up for, I think Ramirez is in a great spot. Another guy that's just been crushing the ball lately, double-digit DraftKings points in 3 of his last 4 games as well. Great spot versus Francisco Liriano. Liriano, not a very good pitcher, and the Indians are in a great spot here. They have a high implied run total as well, implied to score 5.1 runs versus Liriano. I think this is a team that you can definitely stack up. Like Lindor, Brantley not as high on versus a lefty, but Lindor, Ramirez, Encarnacion. You got Geyer projected about 5th for 2,800. Great value there. Yan Gomes, probably one of my favorite catcher plays on this slate, projected about 6th for 3,600. Some really good value in this Indians lineup. And I like Jose Ramirez, not much of a value play, but a guy that I think definitely worth paying up for on this slate. Switch hitter, he's crushed lefties this year, he's crushed righties, pretty much been crushing the ball all year. Dude has a ton of power, a ton of upside in general, and I think he's a great option on this slate at third base. Then my final play, trying to get some more exposure to the Red Sox today. I like Andrew Benintendi at 4,400 in that same matchup with Mengden. Like I said, Mengden, not a good pitcher. I like the Red Sox and the Indians today, 2 teams I'm kind of loading up on. The Red Sox have some good value in their lineup. The Indians do as well. But the Red Sox with Benintendi, Ramirez, Bogarts, Devers, even Eduardo Nunez, JBJ. You've got some value from this team. And Benintendi is another guy like Ramirez, been hitting the ball well lately. Double-digit DraftKings points in 3 of his last 4 games as well. I just think this is a really good spot for Benintendi versus a righty, getting the platoon split, getting to face the righty. Benintendi much better versus righties than lefties. So yeah, guys, these are my 5 plays for today. Noah Syndergaard, Trevor Williams, Hanley Ramirez, Jose Ramirez, and Andrew Benintendi. Now if we do want to look at some stacks for today, I pretty much said it over and over, but the Indians and Red Sox are the 2 teams I'm kind of loading up on today. Love the Indians, they're righties. Got some value in this lineup as well, with Geyer, Gomes, Eric Gonzalez, Greg Allen probably not going to, but like Geyer, Gomes, Obviously, Jose Ramirez, feel like good plays there. Then from the Red Sox, you got value from this team as well. Benintendi, Ramirez, Bogarts, Devers, these guys aren't very expensive. If you can fit in Mookie, you can fit in JD, feel free to do so, but I'm really looking for the value from this team. Looking at some of the other stacks, I think the Phillies versus Andrew Cashner in Camden Yards could definitely be a value team you go to, especially because of their prices with Cesar Hernandez only $3,900, Herrera's 4.4, Carlos Santana shown his power lately, been hitting the ball very well. He's only 4.4, excuse me. So you've got some value from the Phillies if you want to go to them. And I think that is really it for stacks for teams I'm kind of loading up on. I think the Dodgers could be interesting here versus Wei and Chen, just because Chen has not been very good lately. But this is a bad ballpark. In Marlins Park, that's a great pitcher's park. You want to roster pitchers there. Hitters don't really do well in Marlins Park. But still, with how bad Chen has looked lately, you got some good value from this Dodgers team as well. Justin Turner, expected to be back today at third base if you're not playing Ramirez. You could look to Justin Turner at $3,700, a dude that has always crushed lefties throughout his career. So maybe the Dodgers, their righties versus Chen you could go to. But it's really the Red Sox and the Indians, and then I like the Phillies as a value stack. But yeah, guys, now if we want to talk about some BVP plays for today, some batters that have done well versus the pitchers they are facing. Cesar Hernandez and Abdul Herrera have both hit Cashner well. Hernandez has gone 5 for 11, and Abdul Herrera has gone 6 for 14 with 2 home runs. Rajay Davis and Kipnis have both hit Liriano well. Rajay is 12 for 36, pretty big sample there. 12 for 36 with a home run. Kipnis is 4 for 11. Castellanos and Victor Martinez has both hit Tomlin well. Castellanos is 10 for 30 with the home run, and Victor Martinez is 7 for 29 with 3 home runs. Wilmer Flores versus a lefty. Do like Wilmer Flores if you're looking for a value play today. He's gone 4 for 12 with 2 home runs versus Jaime Garcia. Ian Kennedy has struggled versus Ramos. Ramos has gone 2 for 10, not great, but one of those hits was a home run. And then some of these Diamondbacks have hit Chassin well. Paul Goldschmidt, 5 for 19 with a home run. Ketel Marte, 4 for 10, and A.J. Pollock, 4 for 11 with the home run. And then finally, Sin-Soo Choo done well against Mike Leake. Choo has gone 6 for 17 with 2 home runs versus Mike Leake. Then pitchers that have done well in their matchups. Gio Gonzalez done well against the Yankees. The Yankees have only hit Gio for a 200 average through 60 at-bats. And Garrett Cole done well against the Angels. Really to no surprise, the Angels have only hit Cole for a 162 average, only have 16 hits and 99 at-bats. 29 strikeouts through 99 at-bats. Pretty impressive from Garrett Cole. That's about a 28% K rate versus the Angels just throughout his career. Like I said, not very high on Cole today, especially with that price, but you've got the PVB there. And pitchers that have done poorly, the only pitcher on the main slate that has done poorly in their matchup is Ian Kennedy. He struggled against the Rays. The Rays have hit him for a 300 average through 70 at-bats with 2 home runs in those 70 at-bats. But yeah, guys, that's really it for PVB and BVP on this slate, and I think that's really it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Hopefully it did help you. If you did enjoy, just make sure you click that like button down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe as well. If you do have any questions, you can always hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GO, or just leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and good luck tonight on the slate, guys. Peace.